What is happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys jumping back into another episode of Expert Mentors Live. We've got the one and only Mr. Pierre in the house. Welcome, brother.
How are you?
Doing wonderful, man. So
Been a
good
while.
to see you. It has been a while, and kind of going through and working with Iva lineup. Who do we want to get, especially with expert mentors? And I there's just certain individuals that I just love circling back to, and I mean look at like Gogo. I mean, we kick off the year every year, 8 years in a row now. It's just really cool to be able to, the relationships that have been born from this industry, this company, just the really cool stuff that, has come from the decision of aligning at this company. And, I was telling Iva, I was like, when's the last time we had Pierre on this? We got to get Pierre back. Like, his story is just remarkable. The journey you've been on the last several years is just so inspiring. So, brother, it's good to have you back on. Good to see you. And man, I'm excited to jump in and kind of unpack the journey you've been on over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. No, it's been amazing. And I mean, this is I just had my 7th anniversary at EXP last week, which was kind of cool. And we've been doing a lot of the Canadian events, and I was just actually online earlier looking at, okay, when's the next big event? And so I guess it's Salt Lake City. So I'm probably gonna make that venture down to that to see you guys again. And yeah, I miss you. I miss seeing everybody. Like, I miss seeing the group, right? So
yeah.
I know we're building our own thing up here, but it's also, you guys are one of the reasons we came over to EXP, was to be around you guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's you look at, the time frame, right? And everybody coming together, and then it was like everybody kind of figuring out their own and doing their thing. And then it's just good to come back together, every now and then. So definitely looking forward to that. So Pierre, take us back, kind of give us a little bit of the origin story, into the business. I don't want to unpack too much of it. I want to get down to kind of really what your focus has been the last few years, but I think some context getting into the business. I mean, 2 decades plus in the game. I mean, over 5,000 transactions under your watch, which is just remarkable. Yeah. Take us back to the beginning a little bit, kind of getting into this industry and this career a couple decades ago.
Yeah. So got in part-time. So anytime I got a part-time agent that comes to me, I say, yeah, you can do it, because, I did it myself. Got in part-time. I was a sales rep before. And then, I think I did like 29 transactions my first year. And I said, I think that might be onto something, cause I really enjoyed it. Right. So I decided to leave my full-time job with, that was paying really well, and benefits and vehicle and everything else, and decided to take the leap. And so we did. And then, I started with a franchise, worked there for a while, and then things went well, built a small team. And then I got tired of paying them $100,000 a year. So I decided to open my own brokerage. I thought that would be the best solution. Right. And it was better. Like, it was better than what I was doing, obviously. And I got to keep the money, but then it came with other headaches as well. Right. But we did that for 10 years and became number 1 in our city, and things were good as far as I thought. And then a good friend of mine, Andre, decided to share the model with EXP. And, that was a pretty new thing. 7 years ago, nobody had ever heard of it in Canada. And it was kind of really new. Right. And I think I was the first independent brokerage to make the move to EXP in Canada. And it was a big leap of faith, because, nobody knew of it. But once I saw the model, I was like, this just solves a lot of my problems. And then I got around you guys. I went to an event and got around you guys. And as soon as I was done my first day at the event, I said to my son, I'm in. I like these guys. I think we can grow and we can learn from these guys. And obviously we did. So 7 years later, I mean, I think I make way more money now because I'm way more profitable. But not only that, but I think the biggest thing for me was it changed my family dynamics. It changed my health. It changed a lot of things, because now I had time to do all the things that were really actually important things in life. Right. So that's kind of where we're at now. So it's quite a transformation. We used to chase the deals. Now I'm chasing my health. I'm chasing my grandkids. I'm chasing, kind of the things that are supposed to be the important things, and the reasons why we do everything. Right.
Yeah. Dude, that's so awesome. You've never kind of unpacked it and articulated it that way. So Pierre, I'm curious just because our transition but for you, 10 years, things were going well. But what opens you up to even the possibility of a transformation and a change when you feel like things are going well, right? I mean, 10 years cruising down the path, and then, Andre gets you to kind of look at something, but what compelled you to be even open to a change?
I think we're all kind of, anybody who's successful in our business, I think we're all kind of, we're always looking to improve, right? Or we should be, anyways. We're always looking to improve, whether it's our business, our health, our relationships, or whatever. And I think that the biggest thing was this was better, right? And I always say that, my wife argued, like, why would we, stop doing what we're doing? And I said, well, this is better for us as owners, but it's also way better for our agents. And if we care about them, we should do it. And then, there was a little bit of a fear factor too. I'm like, if this is coming to Canada, we're going to be out of business. Like, we can't compete with this model. We can't offer our agents everything that they're doing, the technology, the rev share, the stocks, it was impossible. There's just no way. And then we went to an event. Actually, there was about 300 brokers there that were all independent brokers, and went to this event just to kind of see what everybody was talking about, what's new, what's going on. And I swear to God, for 3 days, everybody talked about EXP. It was just the buzz in the room. And my son Pat and I would look at each other and go, God, like, maybe we should do this and be the first ones, right? And then these guys over, and some came with us and some didn't, right? And I think the ones that didn't are still feeling the pain of having to. Well, not only that, things were like I didn't really have a business. And I remember Jay Kinder asking me, he's like, I'm 47. And he's like, what's your exit strategy? And I had to think about it. He goes, can you sell your business? And I said, well, if I sell it, it's not really worth a whole lot because I'm doing 50% of the volume. Right. I had, 15 to 20 agents. It wasn't a big thing. We were running it like a team, but I was doing 50% of the volume. So if I stepped out of the equation, the business wasn't making money. And I never realized that until somebody started asking me the questions, which was Jay and Al, right? They started saying, and I know you and I had a lot of coaching calls, and the conversations were, okay, can you sustain this if you got hurt or you got sick or whatever, what happened? And I said, well, my business would sustain itself. It would cover the expenses, but I wouldn't be making any money personally. And once I realized that, I was like, oh man, I don't have a business. I've got a job, a high paying job. But if I stop working or if I get sick, I'm in big trouble. Right. So we realized that we had to make some changes, or else, like if I got older and I wanted to retire, plus we had no passive income. We didn't, I wasn't a good landlord. So I stopped that game real early in my career. And so it was just better. It was just a better model, better situation for us. And, the whole idea when we got in was to create rev share. And luckily we had the support of you guys to help us do that. And now we're almost at 1,000 agents. Would I like to be at 5,000? Absolutely. But 1,000 in Canada pays pretty good. So pretty fortunate. And the best thing about rev share is that, for me, is the way I look at it is there's zero expenses to it. Right. Yeah. Like I did a Zoom call today. I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I might do another one, next, like I do 3 or 4 Zoom calls a week to make a really nice 6-figure income that has no expenses attached to it. So that was why we got in at the time, and to eliminate all the headaches. Right.
Yeah. And sometimes it's, those tough questions, those people putting those things, especially when things we think or things are going well. Right. And it just kind of shakes you and like, are you thinking far enough down the road? And sometimes we're not. And so sometimes it's good to have that shock. I'm real curious here. Have you looked at how many of the Canadian agents have transitioned over to one of the cloud-based models? Primarily, I think you guys are just primarily EXP and Real tend to be number 1 and number 2 in Canada for the model. Do you know kind of what agent count? Obviously it was 0 before you, but after, kind of where we're at 7-8 years of being introduced to these models, kind of with the agent count to old legacy models versus the new cloud-based models?
No idea. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not like, it's so funny because, we go and speak at events and I'm like, I don't know if you want me to speak at an event because I'm not the typical, like, I'm on a panel with these guys at our last event and, they're talking about how they're systemized and how they're following up and they're doing this and they got all this. And I'm like, I didn't want any of that anymore. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to babysit my agents. I didn't want to train them. I didn't want to coach. I didn't want to, like, I've done all that. So when I saw EXP, it was like they did all those things for me and they created the stats and they created everything. So now I can just ride on their coattail and that's all, right? So I have no idea. And if you ask me about a bunch of my stats, I don't even know. I know how many homes we sell and I know how much I keep every year. That's what I know, right?
I love that. Yeah.
And I know how many rounds of golf. I can tell you.
You pay attention to the most important metrics.
Exactly. So it's just things have changed, right? And and the funny thing is, people say, "Well, how are you growing and how are you scaling and how are you doing?" I don't know. We're still doing it. We're still going like this. We're every year we keep moving up, and that's all I know. And I'm not going to analyze it to death and create a bunch of spread. That's just not me, right? I'm not going to create the spreadsheets to figure out, how many listings I missed or how many whatever. And that's just the way I work. Is there a better way? Maybe, but this is just what's worked for me, right?
You and I are a lot alike right there. And I mean, I understand the importance of metrics. I mean, you have your assumptions, you have targets, can you move that needle? I remember Kinder and I were on stage together for something, and we were talking about the ISA component, and I only believe there's one way to make the ISA model work, and that they're just kind of essentially an extension of you, right? They wear about 4 or 5 different hats. And I remember one of the questions that somebody from the audience asked us was like, well, what are your conversions, right? What are dials to contacts? And Jay and I looked at each other. And Jay's waiting for me to give the answer, right? Because I mean, I tracked everything, and I said, as many as it takes.
Yeah,
that's the answer. That's the answer. It's as many as it takes. We have as many. We know closed. We know what we need to take to get to closed. We know we need to get face to face. How many conversations and contacts? As many as it takes. That's always been kind of my gut feeling, and you're pretty similar.
Yeah, it's just, what works is work. Like I just find people are looking for the shortcut all the time.
All the time.
And it's like when I attract somebody to our company, it's my job to explain to them, we offer all this stuff, but if you don't do anything with it, you might as well just stay where you're at, because you're not going to make more money here if you're not willing to use the tools that we're giving you to do it. Right. And I can't motivate you to do the work, right? If you want my help, I'm there to help you, but I'm not going to chase you to make you work, right? And running a traditional team, that's what I was doing. I was trying to push people. Like, I had my goals and I was trying to push my agents to help me achieve my goals, as opposed to, and I learned this, from you guys, is I got to start helping other people reach their goals, and that will eventually help me get to my goal. Right. So instead of, hey, I've got to sell 500 homes this year, you're going to go do this, you're going to go do that, you're going to do that. Okay, what can I do to help you get to 50 transactions, right? And now even with agent attraction, right? Like, okay, what's your goal? Well, I want to get 100 agents. All right, what do we got to do to get you to 100 agents? So if I get 10 people to 100 agents, I just added 1,000. Or what I mean. I've just added a bunch more agents to my organization, and that's where the focus, the mind shift changed. And before it was all about me. Now it's about, okay, we got to help other people. And that's because of our model. We're financially aligned to help each other. So that's a complete shift change. Like,
yeah. And I think you just gave the whole secret sauce, right? The only thing that you focus on is just helping people achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
That builds trust. That just builds loyalty. That just builds reciprocation. Like, if you just take the point, I mean, it's the whole, the hero and the guide, story. You're not trying to be the hero. You're just trying to help them get to where they want to go. And it is such the right perspective, the right approach in my opinion that I've seen, that you talk about longevity and lifetime value, just help people accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Yeah. I was having a golf meeting the other day, and we were entertaining a couple of guys, super nice guys, and they're going to kill it in the business. But we were held up at one of the holes. We were waiting, and anyways, so the guy asked me the question. He goes, what are the top 2 things that you can attribute to recruiting that many agents, in your business? And I said, once I learned that as soon as I find out what your problem is, okay, so instead of just trying to sell you our model, first I have to find out what are your issues, what are your pain points, where are you looking to grow? And once I could solve that problem for you, then we had a partnership, right?
Yeah.
And Jay Kinder, I remember him. It was so funny because, we were doing about 300 deals a year, and I was always trying to get the 500. I get the 350, then I go down to 275, then I go, and it was just an up and down roller coaster. And Jay says, yeah, I'll teach you how to do 500 deals, but he says, you're not going to like it. And I'm like,
you're not.
I want to do it. I want to do it. Right. So of course he gave me the playbook. You did some coaching with me. We did a lot of stuff. And I think 2 years later, we did 549 deals. And I said, F that. I never want to do that. Like, that was stupid. It was like, I've been there, I've done that. I don't want to do it again. But I said, I like that rev share thing you guys are doing. Maybe I should spend more time with that. Yeah. So for the next 2 years, we took away, I stepped away from selling as much, and I had more conversations, and then our business grew from there. And when the checks started coming in, I was like, yeah, this is real money. Maybe I should pay attention to this thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, once we learned helping people, and Jay was one of the guys that kind of, it hit me in the head the one day, and it just said, like, you guys are trying to do things for yourselves. You got to help other people. Mm-hmm. And once you help them and you find out what their pain points are, then your business is going to grow. So we're not used to that in the old fashioned, franchise model. We're not used to that. We're all competitors.
Yeah.
Whereas now we get the opportunity to help each other.
We do it as agents with clients, especially when you get the skills and the confidence to go after the listing side, right? Because I think a lot of agents avoid the listing side because they don't take that approach that you take approach with agents. You take the same approach with sellers. Like, what are you guys trying to accomplish? Like, what's the goal? What are you hoping to do here? Yeah. Then once I know what you're trying to do, well, why are you not, it sounds like you know what you're trying to do. Why don't you just do it on your own? And they're like, well, we need expertise. We need you. That's why you're here. Okay, great. Now I know what you're trying to accomplish. I know that you don't want to try it on your own. Then let's go. And it's the same thing with agents. And as soon as, that clicks for agents, they usually do well on the agent attraction side of things, because it's typically the same. But you also gave the answer. I'll highlight it because I think a lot of folks might have missed it. But you just said, man, we just focused on having more conversations. I think that's the answer, is if you just have more conversations and you ask people what they're trying to do, you just, can you help them or not help them?
That goes for agent attraction as well as
yes.
Listings, right? Like listings now, I learned from that part of it. And now the first 2 questions I ask in a listing appointment is, what are your goals? And what's the ideal agent for you look like? What are you expecting out of your realtor? And then I say, hey, just so you know that I'm not going to alter my presentation. I have my presentation here on my computer, right? But I just need to know what's important to you. And it's hilarious because as I go through my presentation, I'm like, there it is. But I will focus on those things that they're looking for, right? Like, so it's just like when I'm coaching an agent on a team, and I'm bringing on a team or something. And, if I'm presenting EXP, the first thing I'm going to ask them is, what are your goals? And what is it that you're trying to achieve? And what are your biggest pain points? And so if the person is looking to go from 15 deals to 30 deals, I'm not going to talk to them about rev share. I'm going to talk to them about, okay, here's our coaching programs. Here's the fast track. Here's the, what I mean? And I'll walk them through what we can do to help them get there. And if you find a solution, and it's the same thing with a listing, right? If you find a solution to their problem, then away you go, right? Or like I just had a listing appointment recently where, they were listed with someone else. And I said, what happened? What was the issue? What did you like? What did you not like? And they told me everything. And I said, okay, well, here's what we do. Right. And I focus on the things that would help them, and we solve their problem.
Yeah. You just help people solve problems, get what they want, I mean, that's like, that's the name of the game, right? And that's where trust is built, and that's where loyalty is built. So Pierre, I want to shift. I want to talk about you. The last, I think, what would we say, last three years, really, obviously the visible transformation, a lot of transformations, not only with the business and with you, but man, the physical transformation has just been, like I said, awesome. First time I got to see you after not seeing you for a while, I was like, holy smokes, Pierre, like, dude, one, you look great. You feel great. How are you doing? So obviously that's the first thing that comes to mind because we can see it, but what was the change? What drove you to make that physical transformation?
Well, I mean, there's a few things. I mean, I mean, we were running the road so hard, and when you're running hard, going to the gym is your last priority, right? Eating, properly before you leave in the morning is your last priority. You're running out the door, you're grabbing, coffee and a bagel, and at the fast food shop, and then you're grabbing a burger for lunch because you don't have time, and it's just you rationalize a lot of stuff, right? And so one thing, I wasn't feeling well. I was definitely way overweight, and I was running around 280 pounds, and just not feeling good, like just feeling lethargic and tired, and feeling like crap, right? And then my doctor was like, "You got high blood pressure, you got cholesterol, you're borderline diabetes. There's a lot of issues going on here," right? So he had said you need to make some changes, right? So of course you try to diet and you try to, but it's like a yo-yo, you're up and down and everything else, right? So then I went to an event, of all places. I went to a Brent Gove event. I remember it was in Dallas, and a guy by the name of Gary Brecka was speaking from 10X.
Mhm.
And it was like somebody hit me in the side of the head with a 2x4. And it was like, wake up. Like, you gotta get your shit together, right? So I liked what he said. I really liked his theory, his model, everything else. And we don't have anything like that in Canada, right? Like that kind of like what you guys have in the US is pretty cool. So if you're willing to pay, you can really dive deep into your health, right? So I
Mhm.
did the blood test that he talked about, and it was so funny because I did it, and my wife did it, and when I got mine back, it was like it was god awful. Like it was just like it was a mess, right? And I thought, oh, they're just trying to sell me product. Again, I go into that mindset of they're just trying to sell me stuff, right? And then my wife got hers back, and hers was really good because she's pretty healthy, right? And so then I was like, okay, well, maybe they're not trying to sell me product. I've got to make some changes. So we bought into it, and we started the program, and I quit drinking. I quit everything. And so got clean. I said, we're going to do that for 3 months and see what happens. And then, lost like 20 some pounds the first 3 months. And I was like, holy shit, this feels good. Let's see what another 3 months brings. And then it was a domino effect. So, and now I'm down about 60 pounds, and
That's awesome.
but my muscle, I'm going to the gym every day. I'm doing all these, fun things. I'm playing pickleball. I'm golfing a lot. And I walk when I golf now instead of riding and drinking a beer. And it's kind of funny what happens, right? Like the people around you start doing the same things as you, right? Like my buddies I'm
Uh-huh.
walking with, they're not having a beer now, and they're not doing maybe a gummy, or they're, what I mean? They're like, they're having a water, they're walking. And I'm like, well, how come you guys are doing it? Well, because we were only drinking because you were drinking. I'm like, okay, well, that's good. So I'm having a effect, right? We're having a salad instead of wings, right? Or whatever. But, and like, we still enjoy our foods. We still enjoy our snacks. I still, have that there, but the focus is health, right? So first thing in the morning, go to the gym, and try to eat better throughout the day. And, but now I have the time to do it because I changed what I was doing in my business. I changed the model that I was using, which allowed me the time to do these things and make it a priority. So I think that was the important thing, is just make it a priority. And yeah, you know what? I feel awesome. And I saw a meme the other day on Facebook where, the guy was saying something along the lines of, after I quit drinking and, I was off the bottle for a long time, I never once said, I want to go back to feeling like crap and being right.
Exactly.
And like I have people asking me, what, you think you'll ever go back to drinking? I'm like, you know what? I don't think so. Cause I just feel too good. Like I just
Yeah.
feel really good. And you know what else I'm noticing now is that there's a lot of people that are not. drinking like they used to back in the day when I was around, like, you know, going to the events and going to all these things. You see more people in the gym, you see more people, you know, exercising and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I think things are changing a bit and people are realizing that. And the other thing I notice is that all the top producers in our business, they were the guys that were at the gym at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
When I walk in, who do I see, right? I see you running your ass off on a treadmill. You know, all the
Yeah.
successful guys were doing that. And I was like, okay, that's obviously one of the key factors. And I'll tell you this, ever since that happened, my business has gone up. I have no blood pressure issues, no cholesterol, no diabetes, none of those things anymore. Everything is perfect. So, but I track my health. I take blood work every 6 months, and you know, I track where we're at, and we make adjustments as we go. And yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, I 100%. And it's the whole thing, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. And you know, if you're showing up and trying to muscle through a hangover every day,
Yeah.
and there's just residual effects to that. But you know, the physical transformation, you know, Pierre, is one thing, but the mental work is different. You
Mhm.
know, what did you have to confront mentally in your own thinking that was holding you back, and how did you start to kind of rewire that thinking?
I think it was fear.
Mm.
Like, I think it was like, okay, if I don't change this, like the doctor had said, if you don't change what you're doing, you're not going to see your daughter get married. You're not going to get to know your grandkids. You're not going to, you know what I mean? And then I was just like, holy shit, like maybe I should do something. And then the 10X thing was just kind of like the confirmation of everything because of that testing that they do. It was like, wow, it's a lot worse than I thought because they don't do that kind of testing here in Canada. And so it was a lot worse than what I was expecting. So I was like, you know what, I got to do something. So it was fear.
Man, so powerful. I mean, just even before we were talking, I mean, you know, making travel changes, right? Because of the grandkids. I was curious, you know, did the Gary Brecka and the fear and the change, was that pre grandkids or was it after grandkids?
It was pre grandkids. Yeah, it was about a year prior to having Pat had his daughter there. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing what you know, our kiddos, and I'm not to the grandkid stage yet, Pierre. I'm going to hold off as long as I can there, but
That's the best.
I am, you know, it's one of the things in the future that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the grandkids.
It's unreal.
And
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
am.
yeah.
So Pierre, obviously you've been in the game a long time. I mean, feels like, you know, we've been in this long. I mean, with the ebbs and flows and the seasons of the market over the last 20 plus years, it feels like we've been through several careers in this industry. But on the mental side of things, right, the challenges with the transformation in the last few years, how do you mentally look at setbacks and challenges and roadblocks now versus what you did prior to focusing in on, you know, your health first?
I am not stressed like I used to be at all. Like it's night and day, right? So I think that, you know, the exercise, like I tell my kids, you know, get your ass to the gym, do something, because the stress will hit you. And, you know, because it is a stressful business. Like if you're busy, you know, some people say, oh, if I get busy, I won't be stressed. But, you know, you get more stress because now you're dealing with more, you know, issues with different clients and different things and deals falling apart and everything else. So I think that you need to get your health in check first because that will help you mentally deal with all the other stuff and your stress level will go way down.
Mm.
Right. I got one of those Garmin watches now that, you know, talks about your stress level and all that. And man, I this is like nothing. Like it's awesome, right? Like everything is good. Now I would have loved to have had one of these like 7 or 8 years ago. You know, when I had my
Yeah.
broker, that would have been interesting to see the difference
Yeah.
of you know what that would look like. But yeah, things are just good now, right? Like I'm just like it's just you know, I'll tell you, rev share is a wonderful thing. it, it fixes
Very, yes.
problems, right? So
Yeah.
And if you don't have rev share, then you need to reach out to one of us and we'll show you how to get it. But it is a wonderful thing. And but you know what? I'm back to selling this year. I decided that I want to go, like, I missed it. I actually missed that aspect of doing the deals. It's kind of a bit of a rush for me. So I do a lot of, like, I'll do listings and I'll do luxury stuff. We got the luxury market now with EXP. So that's been a lot of fun. So a lot of light, nice, high end things. And you know what? I'm dealing with a lot of good people. And when I meet somebody that I don't connect with, and I'm thinking, I do not want to deal with this crap. Like, I'm just like, I'm not dealing with this. Right.
How is the approach? Because when you're making a choice to get back into working with sellers, how is the difference between I choose to versus I have to?
Yeah, that's a huge difference. A lot less stress my way now. Right. Like, and again, I'll tell you, I just got off the phone with an agent that, we're doing a deal with. And he's from another brokerage, and we got talking about this, and it's a lot of times we build this business out of fear, and the top producers always find a way. Like, the market here in Canada is not great, but for some reason, when the market is not good, I'm excited because I tend to pick up market share because of the habits that I created over the years. I just double down. Right. And this year I said, I knew the market wasn't going to be good. So I'm going to get back in the saddle. I'm going to start selling some properties, and I love it. Like, I truly enjoy it. Right. And if I don't want to deal with somebody, I hand them off to somebody on our team or whatever. Right. And they can deal with the ones that I don't want to deal with. But now I get to pick and choose the people that are friendly. They're nice. We connect, and it's night and day. It's night and day. But I still think, like, and it doesn't matter. Like, the guy said to me, he says, I don't know where the market's going. I don't know. Like, I've been in it for 10 years and I'm really worried. I'm really afraid. And I'm like, I don't have that. I'm not afraid right now. Right.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I put my mind to it, I can go out and grind, and I can get the business, and I can close deals, and I do it. And it's so funny. This is the other weird thing. When I go to a listing presentation now, I rarely ever pull out my computer or do an actual listing presentation. I'm sitting down now, calm as can be, having a conversation with somebody and just finding out more about them. And I let them do all the talking. Yeah. And it's amazing. I have a coffee. They offer me a coffee. I have a coffee. I do whatever. And then, I kind of go through what we do and how we do it and everything else. And then at the end of the conversation, I say that I don't try to close either. Like, I used to close all the time. Like, I was constantly closing. Now I just say, hey, you know what? If you decide to work with me and you feel like this is a good fit, let me know. And this will be the next steps. This is what we'll do. And you know what? I feel like it's a good fit. I enjoy you guys. And, if you feel like I'm a good fit, let me know. And before I even walk out the door, usually they're saying, hey, you know what? Like, the other day I did one, and they're like, no, we're going to go with you.
So, just to walk away. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Right. I thank you. And so it's almost like before I used to be desperate to close, and it's almost like they sensed it.
Yeah.
Right.
We talk about the, the commission breath, and some people hear that, but until you can see it or experience it, you don't realize. And I think that may even come to a level of self-awareness, Pierre, with the changes in the frame. Has it allowed you to be more free because the financial pressure is off? Is it, no, my health is the priority. I feel great. Therefore I'm showing up better. I'm thinking more clear. What is it? Like, what is the, No,
there's always financial pressure. I purposely make sure there's financial pressure. Like, for me, I build my business. I've always built it out of fear. Right. I'm worried about not having enough money for the future. I'm worried about, so those are the things that I worry about, but I handle it completely different now as opposed to before. Like, I used to get chest pains, right? I'd be stressed. I get chest pains, everything. Like, I don't get chest pains anymore. You know what I get pains from though? I do get pains from playing pickleball.
I have yet to play pickleball, but I'm down. Like, I'm in. Anybody listening, where I'm at. If you want to play, I'm in.
I'm telling you, my watch tells me I'm burning 800 to 900 calories in an hour. Like, I play one-on-one. 2-on-2 for me it's boring because it's fun, when you're playing with buddies.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But if you're looking for a workout, one-on-one, and like I literally burn 800 to 900 calories, and it's like I'm drenched when I'm done. Like
Oh, I love it.
I can't do what you do. Like you go for a run or you go on a treadmill. I can't do that. I go crazy. I went on a bike this morning for 10 minutes, and it was awful. Like it was awful. I can't do it. But I can go play pickleball for an hour and just grind it out, and it's a blast. But it hurts.
Yeah.
It really hurts after.
It just, the fitness side of things is that if you can make it enjoyable, especially when you're trying to build momentum, it starts to get stickier. And then
Yeah.
you run into days like you did this morning, right? Like you don't want to be there. You hate it. And yeah, but you turned around and went back, but you know what? You got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's better than no minutes.
I still didn't work out after that. Like so
Yeah.
that's the part I don't like. I like doing the working out stuff, which is, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just now it's a habit and I
Mhm.
enjoy it. I don't need the alarm in the morning to wake me up to go. Like I just get up, enjoy going.
That's what we're all looking for, right? Just those passions, those things that are fulfilling, making our lives better, making us better. Therefore, we can make everybody else around us better. And, just the sense of your golf buddies, right? Like it's just a great reminder that we have so much influence over individuals around us that we're not even aware of, right? We're not even aware of it. And you just got to see a glimpse of it because you started to see your buddies kind of changing their habits and their behaviors. And this goes to show, oh, wow, like, I can use this for good, or I can use as an example of what not to do. And I think you're better off being the example for what to do.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Yeah, no, it's amazing. You don't realize those things though, right? Like when you're in the, and you're having a good time and everything else, and then you stop doing that, but then they see the transformation too.
Yeah.
They're like, man, what are you doing?
Pierre, in the transformation side of things, I mean, obviously the influence and really the leadership side of things, because I imagine your emotions are regulated so much better, less stress, less like you feel better. I mean, you have manufactured pressure instead of like real pressure.
Yeah.
You look at that. The emotional ups and downs have so much in how we show up in our performance. How come, for you as a leader, do you have those conversations with your agents, with, your team members? Are talking about like just the ability to stay emotionally, I mean, mindset wise, the way we thinking accurately, but emotionally staying regulated, with this transformation, how has that allowed you to show up and then also impact in the way you lead?
Well, I think the big thing this year I said is like, I think that the agents will do what you do. So I don't micromanage my agents. I'm very fortunate right now. I've got a great team. Like I've got some really good people. I let them do their thing, right? And if they don't, hold up to our standards, then they got to go. But there's some really good people that have been with me for 10, 11, 12 years now, right? So I'm fortunate that I don't have to babysit. And it's another reason I don't really want to grow my team much more, because I have no drama right now. Right. So I like that. We go golfing, we play pickleball with a few of us. Like it's, we've got a good little group, and I let them do their thing, and they know what my expectations are. But now this year I decided to go out and turn it up a notch. Right. So I know my boys, it fires up the boys, because now there's a little competition going on. Right. And, how'd you get that listing? Where'd you get that one from? How come they didn't call me? Right. It's like, so it's fun. Right. And it lights a fire under their ass too, to see, and of course you always want your kids to be proud of you. And I think this year too, was the thing was, I want to see if I still got it. Like, right. Like, can I still perform like I did?
Yeah.
And, and I'll never go back to doing 100 deals a year, because that was just like stupid myself. But, I said this year, my goal is to do 50 ends myself. And I think I'm at 32 right now. So I think we'll hit our goal, but that just adds to the pie, right? Like, I get to keep all that money, right? With the agents, you just make a little bit here and there or whatever, and that's good. And I give my agents a good split. Like I'm not, if they think I'm getting rich off of them, they're wrong. It's enough to basically cover the expenses and, make a little bit or whatever. But it's we got a good thing going right now, so I don't want to disrupt things too much.
Yeah, no, you want to ride it as long as you can. And, I mean, it's the wind, when you have the wind in your sails, right? You want to, have it take you as far as you can while it can, right? It's just a great reminder. It's the, King Solomon, right? This too shall pass. And that's in bad times. That's also in good times, right? So, for you, you said something earlier, and I wanted to ask you, I'm going to circle back to it here real quick. Building and operating out of fear, how do you not slip into scarcity mindset and still stay from a place of abundance when you try to build and operate out of fear?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? I mean, I don't know. I just, I think by setting the example and going out there and doing all the right things. And I mean, we have meetings, not necessarily every week, but we try to do one, at least every 2 weeks with our agents. We have, we talk a little bit of mindset. We talked about what's going on in the market. We talk about, and we try to be positive and try to find the good things that are going on. And again, I double down in this kind of market. I spend more on marketing. I spend more on billboards. I spend more on social media. We actually spend more, but we've always done that. And I had an agent, great agent, from many years ago when I started my first year. He said, in a good market, good agents, will make good money, but in a bad market, good agents will make a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have the right habits and they continue to do those things and they double down in those markets, and I never forgot that, right?
Yeah.
Every time the market started to go like this, started going down, I just doubled down on everything.
Yeah.
And it's true. We tend to go up like this. And,
Yeah.
because the other agents might not have the money to spend on the marketing or to get leads or to do whatever, but because we're doing the volume that we're doing, maybe it means taking a little bit less profit, putting it back in, but then picking up the volume and having clients, down the road. Right. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And you're spot on. My best year as just in production as an agent was during the financial crash here in the States, 07, 08, 09. And I was forced. I had to sell just at the state of what the business, but it was awesome. And then slower times. I mean, we had our best years as a team. I agree with you 100%. And, just when you're skilled, you operate with intent, you're strategic, you're focused on your mindset, you're focused on your leadership. Those things serve you well in a headwind market. Tailwind market doesn't care. I mean, you get rewarded for bad behavior. So it's, I definitely love the headwind markets as well. I agree with you here.
I'm very fortunate because I've got the people that I've surrounded myself with are very, very good. Like we've got some amazing agents. We've got amazing admin, marketing. Like, the people that are with me have been with me a long time and they're really good at what they do. And they make us look good. Right. And they make our job a lot easier. And, when I was trying to do all that stuff on my own before, because I thought I could do it better than anybody else, I realized that there's a lot of people out there that can do things 10 times better than me. And we're lucky to be around some good people.
Yeah, it is. And, you have good humans aligned to your values. For you as a leader with those people, you talked about standards earlier, but I'm curious, even your admin, your people that have been with you for a long time, do they own the outcome of their job? Like, do they know with certainty is like, I own the TC side of things. Like if it falls apart, it's on me. It's not on Pierre. It's not on Pat. It's on me. Have you found the team members that have been with you for a long time, the really good ones, they own the outcome?
Yeah. I have two people. So I have, we do, a transaction a day, and I have an admin that has been with me for 7 or 8 years now. And I have a marketing Bree, she's amazing too. And she's been with us for 7 years, and they know what they're doing. They know what I expect. I don't have to tell them. I don't have to babysit them. They treat it like it's their business.
I love that.
Right? Like they're all in. Right. And again, I'm just lucky to, have them around. Like they're really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. You just get good humans that own their job. They don't make excuses. I mean, you do everything to take care of them. You pay them, above market wage. You create a great environment. You help them achieve their dreams. Like they'll run through brick walls for you. And it's just a sign of you and your leadership, which is really, really awesome. But Pierre, as we wrap up here, and dude, I appreciate your vulnerability and transparency and just opening the book, on you. All right. We're not really opening the book on your business. We're opening the book on you. So I really appreciate that. But I want to talk about, obviously let you talk about what it's all worth, right? The whole transformation, the fruit of it all. What, 34 years, 3 kiddos, grandkiddos.
Yeah.
You got a couple of the boys in the business with you. What does it mean to have built something truly worth passing on, right? I think as parents, we would love for our kiddos to pick it up and run with it. And I mean, for you to have 2 kiddos in the trenches with you, what's that like?
Oh, it's fun. We're having a good time. It's we did a video the other day at one of our luxury properties. So I'm trying to get the boys involved as well with the luxury stuff, just to build their brand, as they get older. And it was hilarious because Pat, right? And Pat's role every day is to get me fired up.
Okay. He does a good job at that.
If he can get me fired up, he's hit his goal for the day. So we're sitting there and we're fighting we're trying to shoot this video. And Pat is so detailed and so it's got to be perfect because he's big on social media. Me, it's like one and done. I just say it and then I tell the video guy, just make it work. If it's not good, clip that part out, make it work. I'm not sitting here all day, right? So Pat wanted to keep redoing it. So next thing you know, I'm like, and I start swearing, right? And I'm like, that's it. We're not effing doing this anymore. We're done. And as I turn around, I look up and there's cameras. So the seller's got cameras on us, right? So the seller's watching all this. And then we go into the house and then realize there's cameras in the house, right? So I start filming and all of a sudden Pat's downstairs and realizes they got a golf simulator and a massive gym. This is like a 10,000 square foot home. And all you can hear him is going, woohoo, right? And he's yelling and screaming. I'm like, can you shut him up? Right. So we're just like, we're having a good time, right? I got to get my daughter in. She's going to have a baby in November. So that's pretty cool. But I tell the boys, she'd be the best out of all of us, right? Because she's just so driven and so, detailed and she'd be great. Like she just knows people and personalities and stuff. So no, it's fun. We're having a good time. And I mean, obviously the rev share, we're building that. Pat's got an organization of over 400 agents now as well. That just happened out of accident and it's just growing and growing and growing. So he's making some nice, passive income too. And so now we're going to help Brandon build his up. And it's just nice to see them do well. They're killing it. Like they're absolutely killing it. And the cool thing about Pat, like Brandon, he doesn't have any kids, not married yet. So I've told him, go hard. Right. And I think he did like 70 deals last year. So I'm like, go hard now while you can, because that's not going to be,
that's going hard in any market, but that's real hard going in your market.
Yeah. This is his 3rd year in the business. So it was so funny because he bought a brand new car and he just posted the other day, he hit over 100,000 kilometers, which is about 65,000 miles in his first year on his brand new car. And I'm like, I hope you're budgeting for a new car next year because it ain't gonna last. Right? So, but yeah, it's so they're just killing it. They're having fun and we're having fun and we're just blessed that everything's going well. We're all healthy and I think that's the most important thing, right?
I love it. If you can go back to this transformation, obviously at an event, Gary did something. He shook you at your core. But if you could start that work earlier, when do you think you would have started it?
The day one that I got into the business, right? Like, I mean, I just had this conversation with my youngest son. Like Pat goes to the gym religiously. And I said to, Brandon, like, I know you're not overweight and you're not, in bad shape or anything like that. But I said, for stress reasons, you need to be doing something. Right. You need to be exercising and doing something that's going to, help you relieve that stress. So, and he's 28. So yeah, the sooner the better, because again, it's all about creating those habits. Right. Unfortunately, it took me till I was 53 to realize that I need to make those changes. But it's harder. I think the longer you wait, the harder it gets,
Sure.
right? And once you get to that, well, the weight that I was at, I mean, it was awful, right?
What's the one habit, Pierre? Let's go rapid fire here. Just a couple questions. One, what is that one habit that changed everything for you? Be it physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. What was the one habit that changed everything?
Going to the gym every day, every morning before work.
I
Get your ass out of bed, 5:30, 6 a.m., get to the gym, 6:30, whatever. If I have a slow day like today, I think I didn't go to the gym till 7:30, but I was there and I did it. And then, but I have to do it before my day, because if the day gets, going and things get busy, then, you're more apt to not go later on in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not dealing with, first thing in the morning, you're not dealing with your phone going off and stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and
same way, man.
You feel so much better. As much as I hate getting my ass out of bed, going out in the cold and getting there, when I get home, I feel so much better.
It's so much better. If you've never done it, you don't know what we're talking about, but it is one of the, your confidence level, your belief that you're going to conquer and win the day it doesn't exist when you slug out of bed last minute, have a cup of coffee, then you try to drudge right into work. When you go through, you have that time, you're able to reset, you lift, you break a sweat, you come back, your belief system is night and day compared to the belief system without it.
Yep. Yeah. And don't tell me you don't have time.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to have time going to the doctor. You're going to have time, all the things, the negative consequences of neglecting your health. You'll have time for that.
Pay now or pay later. You're going to pay one way or another. So you might as well enjoy it. Right. But no, I mean, I've had people say I don't have time. And I said, well, what are you doing at 5 a.m? You're sleeping. Yeah. So just get your ass out of bed. Instead of staying up till 11 or 12 at night, go to bed at 10, get your ass out at 5 or 6, go to the gym. Nothing's going on at 6 a.m.
Yeah. I think it was Dean Jackson or somebody's might've been Perry Belcher, but they said, the whole 5 a.m. club, and their whole thing was, what about the 9 p.m. club? Go to bed, be a part of that club that goes to bed. Yeah. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah. I'd rather go to bed tired than go to bed bored. If I'm exhausted at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I know I've done what I had to do for the day. And that was a good day. And now I can crash. And then, you know what? And it's funny. I don't need an alarm in the morning to get up. I just automatically wake up now, and here we go. We're going.
I love that. I love that.
Right. It's habits, and it's hard. It's not easy, but it's worth it. I know that.
Yeah. Pierre, one book, one practice, one person that shaped who you've become.
One book, you know what? The 10X, the 10X book by Grant Cardone. I was a big Grant Cardone guy, right? So when I read that, that was a big game changer for me. One person, I mean, you're a pretty influential guy in my business. When we got started and we were making that shift from selling to, and you coached me during that time from selling to, because my question was, hey, how do I transform? This is not normal, right? So you were very influential with that. Thank you. And what was the last one?
Well, it would either be, the one book, so 10X, one practice, maybe the daily discipline, the one thing, maybe it's the gym, the one person really helped shape who you've become. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There you go. 10X, the gym, you.
Love it. Pierre, how can folks get connected with you?
Oh, I don't know. Facebook. I hate social media, and Pat's like, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's part of the business, right? And then he makes fun of me when I get billboards, and I'm like, yeah, well, the billboards work for me. So, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. That's about it.
Yeah,
they'll find me.
Pierre, I'm proud of you, brother. I mean, just really, really cool. What you've been able to do. I mean, taking the leap of letting go of the comfortable into the brand new unknown, which was EXP 8 years ago, and just having the conviction, the faith, the belief to take that jump. And then it's the whole, what got you here won't get you there. And then having that realization that if you truly want to live the life especially for you, you know, it just, when your kiddos are watching, when your kiddos are a part of it, it does something you to show up a little bit better. Right. And you've done that. And, you know, I know the kids are proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you. And it's just really, really awesome to see. You're just an incredible leader. And it's one of those things, right? Like, I mean, the best is still yet to come for you, which is really cool.
Man, you're really good for the ego. Thanks, Sean. I mean, I always, you know, I've got lots of time for you, and anytime you need anything from us, we're here for you.
Brother, I appreciate you. Same. And keep rocking, brother. You're making a difference. Your transformation is transforming a lot of folks. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right. Thanks, John.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys.